So, picture this. It's a Friday night, and the restaurant, Elysian, is buzzing with life. This place isn't just a restaurant, it's more like an experience. Dim lighting, soft jazz playing in the background, and the kind of ambience that screams exclusivity. It's the spot where Hollywood stars, CEOs, and trust fund babies come to flex. If you've ever walked into a place and immediately thought, I'm probably not dressed nice enough to be here, that's the vibe. Now, what most people don't know is that this little slice of luxury is owned by none other than Keanu Reeves. Yeah, that Keanu. But here's the thing about him, he's not like most celebrity business owners who slap their name on a place and call it a day. Keanu is different. He doesn't show off, doesn't make it about him. He loves the restaurant but doesn't make a big deal about owning it. No flashy plaques, no photos of him on the walls. It's his style, quiet, unassuming, letting his actions and work do all the talking. So, on this particular night, Keanu decides to stop by. He's been in town, wrapping up a project, and he's craving a good meal. He walks in alone, wearing his usual outfit, dark jeans, a simple blazer, and his signature low-key charm. No flashy watches, no entourage, just a guy looking to enjoy a quiet dinner. He takes a seat at a small corner table, away from the main crowd, because, let's be real, Keanu's not one to crave the spotlight. Enter Darren. Now, Darren is a new waiter at Elysian. He's young, probably mid-20s, and has that fake-it-till-you-make-it attitude. You know the type, trying to project confidence but coming off as cocky instead. Darren sees Keanu sitting there, and, well, let's just say Keanu's understated look doesn't scream wealthy elite to him. Darren strides over with a kind of smug energy. You can almost see it in the way he holds the menu, like he's doing Keanu a favor by even showing up to take his order. How can I help you tonight? Darren says, in a tone that's polite on the surface, but dripping with judgment if you listen close. Keanu smiles, just a warm, easy smile, and says, I'll have the ribeye, medium rare, and a glass of your house red. Darren raises an eyebrow. He glances at Keanu, then at the rest of the restaurant, like he's trying to figure out how this guy managed to slip past the velvet ropes. The house red, he says, a slight smirk tugging at the corner of his mouth. Are you sure? We have some, more refined options. Keanu, being the chill guy he is, doesn't take the bait. He just nods. The house red is fine, thanks. Now, here's the thing about Darren, he's the kind of guy who doesn't know when to quit. Throughout the meal, he keeps coming back to Keanu's table with little digs. Nothing overt, but enough to let Keanu know he doesn't think he belongs here. Are you sure you're comfortable sitting here? Darren asks at one point. This table's usually reserved for our regulars. Another time, he says, you might want to take a look at the dessert menu first, just to be sure it's in your range. Each comment lands with that passive-aggressive sting, and Darren, clearly full of himself, seems to think he's being clever. Keanu, though? He doesn't react. He eats his steak, sips his wine, and watches Darren with this quiet curiosity, like he's trying to figure the guy out. Halfway through the meal, the restaurant manager, Maria, starts making her rounds. She's this elegant woman who's worked at Elysian for years, and she knows every big name who's ever set foot in the place. When she spots Keanu, her face lights up. Mr. Reeves, she exclaims, practically tripping over herself to get to his table. It's so wonderful to see you again. How are you? How's everything tonight? Now, Darren, standing just a few feet away, hears this, and his whole demeanor changes. You can see the gears turning in his head. Mr. Reeves, he whispers under his breath, his face going pale. And then it hits him like a freight train. This isn't just some random guy. This is Keanu Reeves. The Keanu Reeves. And not just a random celebrity dropping in, this guy owns the place. Darren's eyes widen as Maria gushes about how thrilled she is to see Keanu and how much the staff appreciates him. I hope the service has been up to your standards tonight, she says with a smile. Keanu, ever the gentleman, doesn't call Darren out directly. Instead, he smiles and says, the food's fantastic. As for the service, he pauses just long enough for Maria to raise an eyebrow. Well, let's just say it's been an interesting experience. Darren, by now, is sweating bullets. He stammers out an apology, stumbling over his words. Mr. Reeves, I didn't realize, if I'd known. Keanu holds up a hand, cutting him off. It's okay, he says, his voice calm and kind. But here's a little advice. It's always a good idea to treat people with kindness and respect. You never know who they might be, or what they might own. And just like that, Keanu stands, gives Maria a quick nod, and heads for the door. No dramatic exit, no yelling, no demands to have Darren fired. Just a quiet lesson delivered with the kind of grace that only Keanu can pull off. The kicker? Darren's story didn't end there. Word got around about what happened that night, and the guy took it to heart. He started treating every guest like royalty, no matter how they looked or what they ordered. And whenever someone asked him why he was so polite, he'd tell them, because one time, I insulted Keanu Reeves, and it's a mistake I'll never make again. So yeah, that's Keanu for you. Turning a night of snarky service into a teachable moment, all without breaking a sweat. Honestly, the man's a legend in more ways than one.